Let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And good morning to everybody in Las Vegas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a beautiful morning, man. Blessed.
Well, listen to you.
I'm excited, man.
No, you're scared.
Yeah, I'm frightful.
You're frightful, man.
Why do you say that?
Because there's a hurricane a-coming.
Yeah, there's a
You're nervous, man.
There's some. Yeah, I'm a little scared, man. We got a little weather report.
Yeah.
Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through.
Good for you, my
We
friend.
got it, man. In case all hell breaks loose.
Nice. Well, thank God there's a hero out there, referring to the Hurricane Shane Helms being ready to roll. Because we have a hurricane. We need a hurricane to fight a hurricane.
That's what they say, man. That's what they say. Let's
Who
get
said-
it together,
who
man.
said
Come
that?
on. Everybody.
Who said that?
The whole world's talking about
It's
it.
all good. But if in case you don't know, of course, this is the Mark Hoke Show, by the way, the #1 pro wrestling show. Planet-wide, multiverse-wide, whatever you want to say. I don't care. We're #1.
Numero uno.
You betcha.
Who's been toying around with this? I don't like it.
David's having mic issues, everybody. Well, there's more than one person that uses the studio.
I'm the David difference. Oh, what a difference a Dave makes.
Yeah, you're
man.
making a difference today.
yeah.
Good Lord.
Jesus Christ.
But for those that don't know, of course, we are in Las Vegas, and we are experiencing the tail end of what is now a tropical storm. I think it's still a Cat 1 hurricane. Hurricane Hillary has formed, and it is kind of wreaking a little havoc here in the western part of the United States. First one to hit in California, I believe, since 1932 or somewhere in that ballpark.
Look at this guy, a meteorologist, historian.
Well,
let's move along, man.
I gotta know
We're all
what's
safe.
going
We're
on.
all safe. There's a little drizzle out there, man. We're safe.
Well, right now, but just so everybody knows, because we are the only live show on the station today.
Oh.
So if you happen to tune in KDAWN, just real fast, just calling for some rain and heavy winds this afternoon. So nothing too major, nothing we've really haven't experienced before, but it's gonna be a lot of rain. So just everybody be smart out there.
Be safe.
Don't drive stupid.
I was putting out sandbags yesterday, just in case.
Yeah. Actually, there are sandbag distribution places that were going up. There's one near my place.
No, I was being serious.
Yeah. So, but just everybody take it easy when you're driving. Don't try to drive through the water. It's like I said, it's supposed to get kind of rough this afternoon and into the evening. Schools are not closing apparently. So
Well, it's Sunday. Schools aren't open, dude.
for Monday.
No. Well, yeah, we don't know yet. I just got an email from my church. They said we're still doing this, man. God gonna keep us safe.
Right. So just everybody be smart out there. You know, it's raining heavily. Slow down. All good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's nothing too nutsy cuckoo. I've been through those though. They're not fun. Dave, you've been on the West Coast all your life, right?
Yeah, Bay Area.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're not used to this.
Used to what? Rain?
No, used to a hurricane or a tropical storm coming through.
I'm from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
No, are you used to this?
Yeah, I live in South Central Pennsylvania.
South Central Los Angeles.
Yeah, well, you get a different kind of firestorm out there.
All right. No, I'm not used to this, but you know what I think? I think we've exhausted this issue, man.
Well, I just wanted to give everybody out there an update.
Well, thanks. I'm sure they tuned in to hear your weather report.
Well, people are looking for news sources, and it is what it is.
You want some advice, people out there? Look out the window. Look out the window.
That is the ultimate advice. Very good, David Difference. Well, of course, we have a great show coming up for you today on the Mark Hoke Show, as we have just one of the best guests you could possibly get. Dead serious.
Oh yeah, that's my guy right there. I'm excited, man.
I know you were pumped when I said, should I ask this guy to come on the show again?
Yeah. Like anytime, man. I want to. I mean, I wish the format was longer because there's so much like I got to get into with this guy, but we do what we can, man.
Yeah. Chris Van Vliet is going to be joining us, of course, the host of the Insight podcast, 4-time Emmy winner, does incredible work out there interviewing everyone in the professional wrestling world and more. He's interviewed Tom Cruise and Oprah Winfrey and so many others. it is a honor to have Chris Van Vliet joining us on the show today. So we're going to get his thoughts on everything going on in the pro wrestling world. And of course, we're getting ready for a big pay-per-view coming up next week.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
What's that?
Oh, is that the one? Yeah, it's Sunday, huh?
What's that?
Okay, settle down. Yes, Sunday's coming up.
It's only the biggest pro wrestling event of all time now. It is official. AEW All In has outsold WrestleMania 32 at Wembley Stadium in London. So, David, we now have the largest professional wrestling event in the history of the genre coming up on Sunday.
Yeah, I hope it lives up to the hype, man. I mean, I don't know. The reports they were saying backstage, people like, you put too much pressure on this thing. But it is what it is. Eyes will be on there. But I think it'll do great things.
Yeah, this is an awesome card. We're going to break that down for you later on in the show and all the drama that's going on around it.
We were supposed to do a watch party. Remember we had talked about that for Sunday.
And they moved it to start times at 10 a.m.
Right. And then I believe you spoke with Medusa.
Yeah.
About this. And now she's throwing a watch party.
Well, the nerds doing their thing over there.
Nah, that's Medusa hosted.
Well, she took
your idea, man.
Well, whatever. I saw it.
Okay, settle down.
Well, you're pumped up about that, aren't you?
I'm hyped.
Yeah. But this is going to be a terrific day. And we're actually going to be on the air during 0 hour, which is the opening of the show. Which,
you are,
of course, is what do you mean I am? You're going to be here.
I got to watch this show, man.
But it's going to be. They have the big tag team match with MJF and Adam Cole taking on Aussie Open for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. Did you see the promo? Did you see the vignette where the boys went Aussie?
Tell me about it. I don't know. Refresh my memory.
Well, they went to Outback Steakhouse first.
Who are we talking about?
MJF and Adam Cole.
Nah, tuned it out. I didn't see that one. I was looking. I didn't see any clips on that.
Yeah, man, they were talking. It was an interesting episode of Dynamite. That was one of the things that happened. And then they kind of went all Crocodile Hunter after they went to Outback.
Good eye, Mike.
Yeah, it went a little. I won't say it went off the rails.
Yeah,
but it was interesting.
Anything like it's good entertainment, right? I mean, did anything come of it, or it was just a little fun spot?
Oh, we got the kangaroo kicks now. They're going to kangaroo kick Aussie Open.
I did hear that.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah, so get ready for kangaroo kicks.
I'm so excited,
and I'm waiting for MJF to get stabbed in the back by Adam Cole.
Yeah, me too.
This is David. You are not into this at all.
I tried to go back and watch it again, and I reviewed last week's when we was talking about with Tracy. And yeah, no, I'm not. It's good. I mean, let me not just people love it, and there's that entertainment aspect. It's just not for me. It seems too hokey.
Oh, thanks for using that word.
Yeah. So you know what that means. It's just it's too over the top.
I think that's kind of the point, that it's supposed to be a little over the top.
But it's kind of that was my issue with like Bray Wyatt when he was doing his thing. It was seeming like he was doing too much over the top, trying to be something versus just organically. So,
well, they're having fun with it. I mean,
at least somebody is.
A lot of people are, but they're trying to make MJF seem softer and more human and not be so much of a dirtbag.
Yeah, it's working. No, yeah. I mean, it's getting eyes on it. People are loving it. That's just my opinion. I'm open to my opinion, and I'm saying what I want to watch is not necessarily that.
Well, I'm sorry, because
don't apologize.
I feel for you.
You don't need to.
I do. I feel sad for you, David.
Yeah, I feel sad for you, Mark.
Why?
Because you're gonna get roasted today, and you have no clue what's coming down the pipe.
Dear Lord.
So if you're tuning in, buckle up.
Oh my God. This is bad, but yeah, but then of course I would imagine we're probably just going to stay here in the studio and watch that thing on Sunday. But man, I'll tell you, it's going to be a weird week next week, because on the show, we got All In, and then All Out is the week after that, as is WWE Payback. So we got 3 pay-per-views in 8 days.
Well, not to mention, so we got pay-per-view, we got Cauliflower Alley Club 3 days, then we got all the wrestling shows that are coming on, then we got the pay-per-views in the following weekend. FSW, all kinds of stuff happening.
Yeah, man, this is going to be busy. And of course, the Cauliflower Alley Club, the reunion event is coming up here, man. That is next week.
I am looking forward to that.
28th through the 30th. We're going to be hanging out down there, having a great time, and you should too. Go to caulifloweralleyclub.org, get your membership, and come down to all sorts of seminars and booths and the whole ball of wax. A lot of your old-time favorites and many more are going to be there.
Yeah, they got some good panel discussions. JBL is going to be there talking about some stuff. So obviously I'm trying to tap into the Vegas wrestling community here. There's a lot of us and a lot of the students out there. Get down to this event. If you can't make all days, you can't make the dinner, get down there, network vibe, and just feel it, man.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And so we would highly encourage you to get down there. We're going to be doing some live streams, definitely in the morning for sure. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's going to be a terrific time. We're looking forward to having you join us at the Cauliflower Alley Club. Like I said, to get in, you got to be a member. So go to caulifloweralleyclub.org right now. It's $25. Get your membership for the year, or you can become a lifetime member and have a great time with it. It's going to be an awesome week at the Plaza.
Yeah, it'll be magical, man.
I can't wait.
You can't wait?
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be a hoot. I'm just wondering which wrestler's going to hurt me at that event.
Why do you think somebody's always going to hurt you?
I just have a feeling something crazy is going to happen. I've already gotten Cobra clutched by Sergeant Slaughter.
You did, man. I wish he would have put you out.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are bitter today. This rain.
Today.
This rain is not agreeing with you at all.
Yeah, we're in the midst of a hurricane, man.
Oh.
What do you want from me?
Unbelievable. Let's take our break because we've got Chris Van Vliet coming up.
And are we going to break right now?
We're going to break right now.
All right, got you. Let's go. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
I had some monumental I wanted to say, but let's go to break.
Okay, well, hold on to that's a good teaser. David Difford has something monumental to say on the Mark Hoke Show. It's going to be awesome.
Brilliant.
Stick around. We got a whole lot more. Chris Van Vliet joining us here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk in Las Vegas. We'll be right back. The Mark Hoke Show is proud to announce our partnership with pro wrestling's premier charity, the Cauliflower Alley Club. For nearly 60 years, the CAC has stood strong, assisting members of the wrestling industry in their times of need. Please join us in supporting the Cauliflower Alley Club by becoming a member for just $25 a year or make an individual donation today. Go to caulifloweralleyclub.org and give back to the people that have brought us so much entertainment and joy in pro wrestling. Once again, that's caulifloweralleyclub.org.
There is no known safe amount of marijuana use during pregnancy. Marijuana is not safe for pregnant or breastfeeding women and their babies. Everything a mother eats, drinks, or smokes affects her developing baby or enters her breast milk. Just like alcohol and tobacco, using marijuana can have negative effects for your baby. Any form of marijuana may be harmful during pregnancy and while breastfeeding. Marijuana can affect your ability to care for your baby or someone else's baby. It is best for women to quit using while pregnant and breastfeeding. If you are pregnant or a new mother using marijuana, you are urged to seek help to quit. Pregnant women receive priority admission at state-funded treatment centers. Visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org. That's SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211. This message sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
After serving in the military, life can seem like an endless loop. But the cycle can be broken. You're not alone. Visit maketheconnection.net to learn more.
I've never seen it like this.
We've lost a lot of loved ones in our family.
I lost some family members to COVID.
So many of my patients pass away from COVID.
People dying. It didn't matter your color, your race, your sex.
Death has no particular color. It comes after us all.
Every human life has value. Just does.
COVID taught us health matters.
Health matters. Visit nmhec.org. This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Minority Health and Equity, and in cooperation by the Nevada Broadcasters Association and the station.
My son stopped talking to me. He didn't want to leave his room.
I didn't feel like talking to anyone. I just wanted to be alone.
I was really worried about my daughter. She was angry all the time.
I felt so depressed.
I was really worried about my daughter.
I couldn't do anything right. I was always getting yelled at.
My son told me he wanted to hurt himself. I was so scared.
I was feeling hopeless. It was all too much.
We needed help.
We needed help.
We needed help.
We needed help.
I needed help.
I called the mobile crisis response team, and we met with them that same day.
A crisis team came to my house and helped me talk to my parents about how I was feeling.
I called the mobile crisis response team. They met with us that day.
I talked to them about how I was feeling, and it really helped.
Sometimes understanding what children are experiencing can be difficult. The Nevada Children's Mobile Crisis Response Team provides mental health intervention and support. Learn more at nocrisis.com. This message sponsored by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Infinite Wellness can help you achieve your goals and look and feel your best. Our regenerative medicine clinic utilizes stem cell and exome therapy. We also have a comprehensive weight loss program and numerous other services you can find on our website at infinitewellness.info. We're located at 8925 West Post Road, Suite 100, right across from IKEA. You can book your appointment today by calling us at 702-842-2244 or find us on social media at infinitewellness.lv. We'd love to be a part of your journey.
101.5 FM KDAWN. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back on the Mark Hoke Show, live here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. It is the talk of Las Vegas on a very wet Sunday morning here in Sin City.
Yes, sir.
It is something else.
Yeah, man. I love the rain, but yeah, maybe they're doing a little too much.
Yeah, well, you know, hurricane hysteria.
Let me say something real quick, man. I know we got a very special guest.
We do.
Like the way that you were, like, so Mark calls me and he's like, "Oh, I got this guest, Chris Van Vliet's coming back." He's so excited. He's like, "What do you think if we call this ode to those abs?" And I was like, "Let's."
Oh, come on.
And then I come in this morning. Look at it. Mark's on his computer. Look at his desktop. Look at his desktop.
That was, you suckered me on
Look
that.
at it.
You are a rat.
So, all I'm saying is be professional. Be professional. Don't embarrass me, please.
For those that don't know, David put a picture of me supposedly looking at
that's your
pictures of
background.
Chris Van Vliet's abs on my laptop. That was horrendous.
That was earlier this morning.
I am never trusting you again.
It's timestamped.
Let's get the man on the show and stop wasting his time, shall we? He is the host of Insight, 4-time Emmy winner, Chris Van Vliet, joining us on the Mark Hoke Show. I'll clap for Chris too. I'm still a little flustered. Chris, how are you today?
Gentlemen, it looks like my internet search history looks just like yours, Mark. It's great. I'm always looking up the pictures of my abs too. Wow.
There you go.
You're not letting me live that down.
Yeah, man. That'll live forever.
This is unreal.
I'm just saying be professional. Chris, how are you, man?
Yeah,
thanks. Great. Yeah, so good to see you guys. And we're getting the rain here. I'm in California, so we're getting the rain here. But I think for you guys, this is the first time it's rained in like 14 years or something, right?
Yeah.
It has rained here before, but yeah, nothing quite like this. I think it's going to be very interesting. How you holding up down there? You avoiding this whole thing? What's happening?
Look, I lived in Florida for 5 years where like hurricanes were like actually barreling towards us. So I feel like, maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel like where we're living in California, this is going to be rain, which is not fine. And then a little bit of wind, and hopefully that's it. But I don't know, fingers crossed that everything's, okay for everybody here.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody got a little hyped up around here, to say the least. Sandbags and the whole deal is unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, well, look, I mean, rain in the desert doesn't go very well. Kind of just like, it's not going to really get absorbed. It's just going to kind of, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Very interesting couple of days here in Las Vegas. Well, Chris, we have so much going on in the world of pro wrestling, and I wanted to get your thoughts on a lot of just weird things happening. And the first thing that I wanted to hit you with is, we're getting ready for All In, and everybody's excited. We've got a nearly sold-out Wembley Stadium for the biggest event in pro wrestling, and we're talking about CM Punk and Cash Wheeler. and not in a good way. Let's get into the CM Punk stuff first, because we have just all these interactions with Nemeth. We've got Jack Perry, we've got Hangman Adam Page, just an absolute mess going on with CM Punk. What are your thoughts on all this right now?
I think it's important to point out, with all the names you just said, we don't actually know what happened or if any of this happened. Like, if we're going to give the benefit of the doubt here, like sometimes stuff in wrestling media, crazy to think about, is not actually real, or perhaps it's embellished. So there might be, a little bit of truth here. There might be a lot of truth to this here, but I think what is kind of unfortunate for all of the other great performers on the card is it's taking, the shine away from the actual matches that are happening here. Because look, just from the outset here, the fact that they sold 70,000 plus tickets without a single match announced, then they start announcing some matches and you're going, man, this is shaping up to be great. This is shaping up to be the biggest AEW show in history, one of the biggest international shows in the history of pro wrestling. Like, that's where the focus should be here, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I found it very interesting that everybody's, chiming in so much on this whole thing with Punk. And, like I said, you don't know what's true and what's not. But of course, we had Punk did the promo on Adam Page, and he was supposed to come Collision, and they send him to another location. Ryan Nemeth shows up and they get in an argument and he gets bounced, and there's talk that Christopher Daniels is banned. What should Tony Khan be doing about all this right now? Because it just seems, as someone who's managed businesses and coached teams, that he's got to step in and clean this up a little bit before it gets completely out of hand.
I feel like we can point at All Out, and like Brawl Out, which is what, everybody's been calling this. Like, that's kind of where things went off the rails a little bit, at least for the perception of everything going on in AEW. And I was definitely in the camp of going, after watching that video of all those things that CM Punk said while sitting next to his boss, there is no way that CM Punk's ever coming back. Oh my gosh, CM Punk comes back. Looks like he's in a great mood. Looks like this is the fun-loving summer of Punk, CM Punk. And then it just kind of went all downhill from there. And it just feels like, it kind of seems like Tony Khan has lost control of the locker room. And it's like, he needs to be the one who's going, you can do this or you can't do this. He needs to be running this show here. And it certainly seems a little bit like perhaps the inmates are running the asylum.
Yep, yeah. I would agree with that. And it's funny you said inmate, because we had, unfortunately, Cash Wheeler turned himself in as committed a 3rd-degree felony, apparently in a road rage incident where he brandished a firearm to someone and was just went through an arraignment process and is out on I think $2,500 bail, if I remember correctly. So he's now at the center of some major controversy right now. A lot of people are saying, should he be even performing it All In? Some people want this match canceled with their FTR's dream match with the Young Bucks here at Wembley. Your thoughts on what's going on with Cash right now?
Look, it's important, I think, to point out that these are all allegations right now. He has not been found guilty of anything right now. So he is alleged that he did this. He's perhaps accused of this, but I don't know. I thought we lived in America where you're innocent until proven guilty. So, until he walks away with actual guilty charges, I feel like this is a situation of he said, she said, and we don't know the whole situation here. And that will end up coming out through the, court process of everything that happens here. But I think that we do this thing, not just in wrestling, but I think in media right now, we're very quick to judge. We see a headline or we read a police report and we go, that's the thing that happened. This is exactly it. And then you don't actually look into, anything further than this. We don't know the full situation here. And I think until we do know the full situation of what happened, we can't jump to any conclusions. I think that, on one side, if we're to believe one side of this story, it's an awful situation. If there's another side of this story, perhaps this whole thing got blown out of proportion. We're not really sure of what happened right now.
Right. I definitely do think it should affect like what's coming up on the match. I mean, I'm with you on that. It's like, let it play out. I heard it, read the news, and let it go. Let's see where it goes. But do you think it should affect what's going on in the match?
I don't think it should right now. Like, again, these are allegations, but I think that if something more serious comes out of this, if there's jail time or something like that, yeah, obviously you deal with the situation at that point in time. But I think right now it's really a situation of we don't know what happened.
Yeah, so we'll see this story. It's going to be, I agree. I think with All In, just let this go and let it play out. We'll see what happens with that. But in terms of what's happening at All In, this card is shaping up to be a whole lot of fun. And you take all the drama aside that's happening with AEW right now, and you think about this show breaking every attendance record in professional wrestling history, and the amount of talent that is going to be here at All In at Wembley here in London. Man, I cannot tell you how excited I am to see this. It is going to be one hell of a night morning here for us in Wembley.
And I think that if you were to tell any of us 6, 7, 8 years ago that there would be another wrestling company other than WWE that is going to come close to selling out Wembley Stadium, 80,000 plus, you'd go, come on, man, that's insane. That's not actually happening. Yet here we are. And like you said, this card is stacking up to be really, really memorable. This is going to be one of those moments. And I hope that we can appreciate this as wrestling fans, because so often this does not happen in wrestling. You're just like looking at like, what's next? What's next? What's next? I hope that we can take a moment that day when it's happening and go like, just step back for a second and realize just the gravity of the moment and the gravity of the situation. Like, this is actually happening before us. This startup wrestling company that came out of nowhere in 2019 somehow survived the pandemic. No other wrestling company that was 6 months into their television deal would have survived what happened in 2020. And now they're doing a show like this. Let's just like take a second when it's happening to appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we're on with Chris Van Vliet here on the Mark Hoke Show. What are you looking forward to most on this card?
I'm going to selfishly say Will Ospreay. Like, I'm such a big Will Ospreay fan. I think Chris Jericho is one of the greatest of all time. And he's one of those people that no matter what gimmick he's had, and we can go all the way back through this with Lionheart and Y2J and Suit and Tie Guy Jericho and the List and the Ocho and the Painmaker, and the list goes on and on. He gets them all over. So I think that Chris Jericho against Will Ospreay and Will Ospreay's home country, that's the match that I'm looking forward to. And selfishly, it's because I've been a Will Ospreay fan for so long, and I don't feel like if you're a North American wrestling fan only, you've really seen the best of Will Ospreay. I feel like this is the type of match where we're going to go, oh man, I need to go back and watch everything else that he's done. I will also say that there's going to be a really iconic moment in my mind. I don't see any situation where MJF doesn't, leave as the champion here. And I think there's going to be a moment, I would think, at the end of this where MJF is holding up the championship in front of that sold out crowd there. And that's going to be a photo, I think an iconic photo for AEW for many, many years moving forward.
I don't know. I'm waiting for this Adam Cole backstab to happen. I'm still calling it.
I think it's inevitable, but I think it has to happen. But
Adam Cole is going to be the bad guy in this whole thing.
Yeah, well, we see that, but you never know, because now everybody's thinking that they may swerve it around, so we just don't know. But Chris, I just want to say, since last time we talked, I mean, you've had a baby, you got in the best shape of your life. How are you juggling everything right now? How's everything going in your world?
I will say that, so the baby's doing amazing. Thank you so much for asking. Her name's Logan. She's going to be 3 months old next week. Like, wow. It's so cliche. Everyone says, enjoy it while it's happening. Time goes by so fast. It does. Like, it's just flying by, but she's doing great. I will say my workouts have definitely fallen off since she's been born. There's been a lot of more important things to focus on. We still, I still do lift and I still eat relatively healthy. I was just eating some oatmeal before we started here, but yeah, there's it's very interesting to see where the priorities shift to when, you're responsible now for a human life.
Right.
Yeah. Curl the baby. I did that a lot.
She only weighs like 11 pounds right now, 12 pounds.
But you get a lot of reps.
That would be a lot of reps.
You build endurance, and the kids love that stuff.
I can't believe we didn't talk about this last time I was on, Mark, but the reason that you and I met at WrestleMania Media Week was I jumped ahead of you in the line to interview The Miz. You know, the way that those interviews were happening was like, it was so busy that day and you were really only going to get a few interviews. And I needed to get this interview with The Miz. I've known him for like 12 years. And I kind of jumped ahead and I was like, hey, is it okay with you if I jump in here and do like 4 minutes with The Miz? You're like, yeah, of course, man. No problem at all. And I just want to say, I am very grateful for how gracious you were in that moment and how kind you were. So thank you.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. I didn't really think I was doing anything special, but you know,
I went from one side of the room, saw The Miz, went all the way to the other side of the room and was like, I need to make this happen. And I was like, please, sir, can I do this?
Wow. See, I was just in awe that I was in your presence. Seriously.
Well, all right.
Look, I mean, and you know, I guess when we're talking this kind of stuff, you know, I just have a ton of respect for the work that you do. And, you know, you popped in there and I was like, yeah, Chris Van Vliet's asking me to, you know, stand here. I'm like, yes. Come on, man. Are you kidding me?
Well, I'll say even the fact that he recognizes it is a testament to like your character and just who you are, man. That's why you are who you are and got what you got and are doing what you're doing, man.
Man, I thank you both. It's very kind. I saw there were a lot of other people that day that were just jumping in and not saying anything. And I'm like, that is not nice. That is not nice.
It was a fiasco.
It was. And I just did it at SummerSlam in Detroit. It was definitely much more tame. At the start, it was like, we got to get to everybody. And then about an hour in, you realize that, we are going to get everybody. Okay, let's just calm down here. And that was actually really cool. You should have been there, man. What's up with that?
Well, actually, SummerSlam weekend, my daughter was starting school on Monday.
Oh, well, there you go. That's
at a brand new high school. And she had actually switched out of her zone in the school district. So yeah, I figured I better make sure I'm there. So,
but look, I actually appreciate that. I appreciate that you realize that like sometimes there's things in life that are more important than work or more important than wrestling.
Yeah. Especially my kid. That's pretty much it.
Absolutely.
You gotta know your priorities, especially with my daughter. Trust me on that. Well, I think it's a good place to take a break. What do you think, David? Let's
it's a great spot.
Take a breather here, and then when we come back, we're gonna have more with Chris Van Vliet talking the Toronto boys. Yeah, I think Chris wants to make a new tag team or something. I saw he was fawning on Twitter the other night. That's okay; he's allowed. Chris Van Vliet joined us here on the Mark Hoke Show, and we'll be back with more of the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. If you're looking for an award-winning dining experience at outstanding prices, look no further than Unique Eats. Whether it's their incredible breakfast platters, amazing pastas and sandwiches, or world-renowned pizzas, celebrity chef Dominic Tedesco will have you covered. Check out their coffee and smoothie bar, vegetarian options, catering, and top-flight service. Visit Unique Eats today at 3100 South Durango, Suite 100. Call 702-992-3038 or go to uniqueeatslv.com, and we'll see you all at Unique Eats.
The PBP, Voices of Baseball, is a podcast about the art and craft of play-by-play, and we're in the middle of an amazing season. Catch up on episodes with Joe Buck, Joe Davis, Pat Hughes, and more, and learn along with me, Matt Spiegel, how the job is done.
It's not just home run Bryce Harper in the Phillies lead. To really do it justice, you got to widen the lens. What does this home run mean?
The PBP, Voices of Baseball. I bring you the people who bring you the game. Listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
In Nevada, anything that goes into the storm drain goes directly to our local waterways, which can pollute Nevada's lakes and rivers. Nevada is the driest state in the nation, and we must work together to preserve our limited water resources for future generations of Nevadans. Here's some waterway wisdom so you can help do your part. Scoop your dog's poop, bag it, and discard it. Clean up yard waste and grass clippings. Wash your car at a car wash or on grass or gravel. Apply pesticides and fertilizers sparingly in your yard. Safely dispose of household chemicals. Clean up leaks and spills. And don't litter. Secure trash in bins. Keep contaminants out of our storm drains. Use waterway wisdom. And remember, only rain should go into the storm drain. Join us in preserving Nevada's waters for future generations by visiting loveenvywaters.com and following us on social media.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Transportation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Understanding the many things in a mother's life affecting her pregnancy is important. You can help improve the health of all mothers and babies in Nevada by completing a pregnancy risk assessment monitoring system survey about your recent pregnancy. Also known as PRAMS, the survey is from the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The survey asks new moms about their experience before, during, and after pregnancy. Responses are confidential and used to help improve the health of mothers and babies in Nevada. If you receive a PRAMS survey, please share your story. Learn more at nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. That's nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. This message sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, I'm Diana. As a veteran, I know that for many servicemen and women, the battle doesn't always end when they come home. Because I too struggle with the invisible wounds of service. Thankfully, I found American Humane's Pups for Patriots program, which brought Sam into my life. Before being paired with Sam, I didn't get out of bed for most days. Pups for Patriots and Sam literally changed my life. Now I'm able to go to the store without having a panic attack. I'm finally able to live my life the way I want to live it. Pups for Patriots provides trained service dogs to veterans like me at no cost. If you're a veteran or know a veteran struggling with post-traumatic stress or traumatic brain injury, please go to AmericanHumane.org to learn about their Pups for Patriots service dog program. Let's give our veterans a fighting chance.
A message from American Humane.
On Facebook, I saw someone posted...
It's going to turn you into a zombie.
Created by the government.
They're going to plant a chip into your body.
It's the mark of the beast.
This is fake.
This information is just about as bad as the pandemic itself.
This information is easy. You don't see the harm it does.
COVID taught us
Health matters. Stop the spread of misinformation. Health matters. Visit nmhec.org. This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Minority Health and Equity, and in cooperation by the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we are back on the Mark Hoke Show. 1015 FM, The Talk of Las Vegas is the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. I am Mark Hoke, the David difference.
Oh, what a difference a Dave makes.
Dave, have you noticed the window between us here is fogging up?
Yeah, man, it's getting hot. I told you it's that screensaver you got. You need to settle down.
My God.
You got to settle down.
Stop.
Hey, Chris, are you going to CAC this year?
I have not been invited yet, so perhaps I will be going. I don't know.
Come down, man. We're going to be there.
What is the date on it?
That is 20th through the 30th, man.
Yeah, next Monday through Wednesday. Yeah, 3 days of.
Then I will not be there.
All right.
I'll be in Nashville next week. So
Nashville.
Yeah,
you're gonna miss the CAC to go to Nashville.
I next year. How about next year?
All right, next year.
I also was just looking. I don't know. I should have brought this up earlier. I just realized during the break that it is the 2-year anniversary today of CM Punk's return to pro wrestling.
Oh, really?
That's right.
August 20th, 2021. Isn't that, in some ways, it feels like that was forever ago. And in other ways, you're like, oh, yeah, that was just a thing that recently happened.
Right.
Yeah, that is crazy. You know, actually, by the way, I didn't even mention this 2 weeks ago. That was our anniversary for the Mark Hoke Show, and 2 years ago, starting up on KDAWN on August 1st. So totally blanked that out.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thanks.
Happy anniversary.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's just anniversaries all around. Well, I wanted to ask you a little bit first about, you were at SummerSlam and, we're there seeing everything happen with the Bloodline. What are your thoughts about where that went? Because some people have been a little tough on that. I was kind of, where everything happened with Jimmy and Jay, but how are you feeling about what's happening with the Bloodline right now?
I felt like that match was not as great as it could have been. But I will say this about the Bloodline. We're going on 3 years here. And just when you think that thing's about to die out, they find a way to pull you back in. And I feel like that's what's happening here. Like, yeah, that match could have been booked better. Although I think where this is leading to is probably going to be something bigger. Jimmy versus Jay, probably, right? WrestleMania 40. That feels like what this is leading up towards. I also feel like kind of off the back end of this, somehow we're going to find a way for it to be Cody versus Roman again, I think, in Philly for WrestleMania 40. I just don't know what the path looks like to get there.
Yeah, it's very strange because now, of course, we got LA Knight weaving his way in here. And yeah.
Not like that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. But it is going to be a very complicated path here with Roman Reigns. And I'm very curious to see what's going to happen and how many of the tribal elders are going to show up. I know we talked about that a little bit last week. The spoiler with Rikishi and everything going on that he might have been refereeing a match coming up here at Payback, but we've only got one match on that card right now.
Right.
That's happening on September 3rd.
I wonder how The Rock finds his way into this, because I truly don't think The Rock is done with pro wrestling. I think it's one more match and then he's done. Then he gets the induction to the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm really curious. How does The Rock find his way back into this? Is it The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40? I don't know if that's for a championship or not, but that certainly could feel like it's possible as we sit here right now.
Yeah, I'm actually waiting for Roman to lose a little sooner. I
think the only way to end that story is have The Rock come in, and whether he just beats him or takes the title, that could end the bloodline. Last week, everybody talking about they jumped the shark, it's over. No, not true. I think The Rock comes in. That has to happen. That would be the biggest WrestleMania in I don't know how long.
Well, I was almost speculating, by the way, that we've seen a lot of surprise winners for title reigns over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost wonder if somebody should just come out of the blue that nobody's even talking about to be the one to end Roman, like a Grayson Waller, just to pick a name as an example. I mean, not saying he would be the guy, but something like that happens where all of a sudden Roman loses the title to somebody you never planned for. And you think about like Santino Marella would be a good example when he beat Umaga, matches like that. I mean, I'm just wondering if there's a real curveball coming up here with the Universal Championship.
I just don't think you can go 1,000+ days and then lose to someone who's completely unexpected. I think it has to be at this point a Cody Rhodes. I think it just has to be. Like, I feel like that's what the whole buildup has been here. I don't think that someone's going to come in out of left field and win the championship, because then, I mean, imagine the fallout from that. Imagine the fallout from like, we did this for 3 years and so-and-so won the championship after all that.
Yeah. No, you think, there was fallout after the last match. I mean, that would be horrendous. Tell me this, talking about LA Knight. I know you just recently, I mean, you've interviewed him several times, but the recent interview, what is your thoughts on his meteoric rise at the moment? Like, so he used to be out here in FSW, Future Stars of Wrestling. He was the champion here, but just always next level performer. What is your thoughts, working with him and talking with him on where he's at now?
Man, Sean is the best. Sorry, that's his real name. Sean is the best. And I've known him for years. And I think that people seem to forget the fact that he was a world champion in Impact Wrestling. So if you go back and you remember him as Eli Drake, seeing all his great work in Impact and then in NWA, that Shoes of a Champion promo is absolutely legendary. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go type it into YouTube and prepare to be entertained and prepare to laugh. I do feel like there's been some moments here where it's been a little bit of like start, stop. Like nobody gets a bigger reaction right now. I think it's not even arguable. I think it's just a fact right now. It's a fact of life. What Drake used to say. It's a fact of life that he's the most over baby face right now. And I know that they're pushing for people like Cody to be a bigger baby face, but when LA Knight's music hits, my goodness, it is, it's a massive reaction. I hope that this leads to something with him, because I just feel like it should have been Money in the Bank. I mean, come on, it should have been Money in the Bank. I don't feel like that helps Damian Priest as much as it would help LA Knight. Right. And then the U.S. Championship tournament, it's like, that's it. He doesn't even get to like go through to the next round. I don't understand that. So him winning the Slim Jim Battle Royal, and I guess he wins a lifetime supply of Slim Jims or something from that. I don't know. Like
snap into it.
Yeah. I feel like this should lead to something else here. And I feel like before the year is done, we're going to have a very different opinion of how he's being booked. Because I feel like right now he's being booked to be on every show, which is exciting and which is awesome. But he really hasn't won a lot of matches this year. When you really look at it, top to bottom, he hasn't won a lot of matches. Give this guy something. Give him some momentum to run with.
Yeah, of course, he just lost again the other night on SmackDown. So, yeah, who knows? We'll see what happens with LA Knight. Now, I want to talk about your Canadian brethren, our good friend Edge, who may have wrestled his last match in WWE on SmackDown, a very emotional night, as it turned out, wrestling Sheamus. What are your thoughts about this situation with Edge? Because, of course, his contract still, by the way, just settled that. His contract is not up until the end of September. So he can't go and run over to All In. So just squash that thing right now. But your thoughts on Edge and what his future is in pro wrestling?
That match was special. That match was so special. That whole night was special with all the tributes to him. I don't feel like this is his retirement match. I truly don't. We all know this as wrestling fans, that when you go out, you put somebody else over. I think this may have been his last match in Toronto, and perhaps he looked at the schedule and chatted with the powers that be and said, oh my gosh, we're not going to be in Toronto again till whenever that happens to be. I have to wrestle a special match in Toronto. I just feel like his last match is going to be like a big storyline, a big culmination. Perhaps it's WrestleMania or a Royal Rumble or a big show. I just don't think that that's it for him. I could be completely wrong here. I also feel like if he's going to work his last match, it would be criminal for Tony Chimmel to not announce him to the ring. And that was, if this was his last match in Toronto, they totally dropped the ball on that one.
No doubt about that. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about Insight and what you've been doing over there, because Chris, that show just gets better and better and bigger and bigger. You're hitting milestones all over the place with that show and, all your YouTube work. Tell everybody a little bit of, if they haven't seen Insight, what is it all about and what are you trying to do when you interview everybody?
I appreciate the very kind words. For me, I love having conversations. I love learning from people who are the very best at what they do. And sure, we talk about wrestling storylines and we talk about, some of their greatest moments, but I would rather reverse engineer. You're at the greatest spot in your life right now. Look at how much you've accomplished. I'd like to reverse engineer that back so the person listening can go, oh my gosh, I can totally relate to, being fired from my job or going into something that felt really difficult and I wanted to give up. And that's the whole point of these conversations that I have. So my podcast, Insight with Chris Van Vliet, just hit 500 episodes recently. Nice. I truly feel like life begins here in podcasting at 500 episodes because I really feel like we're just getting started. And it's been an amazing year with some incredible guests so far. It's been Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, LA Knight. Yeah, twice. Already been on the show. Right. I just had Shelton Benjamin. Like, when was the last time you heard an interview with Shelton Benjamin? Right. That guy is incredible. And what a story, and so underrated and, dare I say, underutilized. And it was great to be able to hear some stories from him. So if you've got some free time while you're waiting out the storm here today, maybe go throw on a few episodes of Insight, either wherever you listen to podcasts or on my YouTube channel.
No, I think it's magical, your interviews there. It's even people that you may not have interest in, or like, what's this guy going to say? Like, you bring something out that you become a fan of that person. So like, you're doing a tremendous job, and hence why you're the GOAT, sir.
Thank you. Your words, not mine. Right. I really appreciate that. I just think the biggest thing is like, I want to have a conversation with somebody, and the camera happens to be there and a microphone happens to be there, but I'm asking questions that I'm genuinely interested in myself. And the fact that other people can also appreciate that and also take that in, man, that's the icing on the cake.
Yeah, beautiful, man. We appreciate you.
And speaking of icing on the cake, that's going to wrap it up with Chris Van Vliet on the Mark Hoke Show. Chris, I want to thank you for coming on again. It is always an honor to have you on. Man, I wish we could do this almost every week because it's just a blast having you.
Anytime. And next time I'm in Vegas, I'll come by and we'll do this in person.
That would be amazing. So Chris, thanks for joining us on the Mark Hoke Show, my friend.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Chris.
you guys. Keep up the great work.
All right. Appreciate you,
Thank you,
brother.
man. All right. So there you go. Chris Van Vliet, everybody, on the Mark Hoke Show. And when we come back, Dave and I are going to dig into all the news, check out all those matches at All In, give you guys an idea what's coming up on one of the busiest 8 days in pro wrestling history coming up. So stick around. We'll be right back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas, and all those live streams out there too. Say hi. We'll be right back. Want more of the Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at the Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at the Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
The Las Vegas Valley is currently under a flash flood alert. Clark County Regional Flood Control reminds you to never enter a flooded street or intersection, even if it's just a few inches deep. Water always wins. Visit BeFloodSafe.com for flood information in your area.
There are more identity threats than you realize. Even if you monitor your credit, only a little personal info needs to leak out, like your social security number or password,
For you to become a victim.
LifeLock alerts you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to LifeLock.com.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple of weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Your passion to serve could make a world of difference to nonprofit organizations in your local community. Organizations across Nevada are looking to fill board and committee positions with professionals like you who care about local community needs. Board Connect is a new service matching your unique talents with organizations working on issues that are important to you. In this virtual hub, there are hundreds of nonprofits whose work supports essential services and programs. Nevada Volunteers and its partners created Board Connect for individuals and communities striving for bright futures. Take a moment to register. Your service will be a meaningful investment in others and yourself. Board Connect is easy to use, and best of all, it's free. For more information and to register, go to nevadavolunteers.org. That's nevadavolunteers.org. This message, sponsored by Nevada Volunteers and Volunteers Generation Fund, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you shopping for healthcare coverage for a small business? Whether you're renewing a plan or shopping for a new one, the Vegas Chamber Health Plan, backed by Anthem, has many of the advantages usually reserved for a larger organization, like access to care across Nevada at lower cost. Lock in quality healthcare at budget-friendly prices through July 2024. Go to vegaschamber.com/anthem. Brought to you by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
I'm attorney Richard Harris. For me, it's all about winning for our clients. So our firm is donating backpacks full of supplies to 12,000 of the neediest students in Nevada. We want these kids to be winners too.
KMXB HD3 Henderson, K268CS Las Vegas. Always live on the free Odyssey app. 101.5 FM KDAWN.
Tropical Storm Hillary headed to the southwest. Now a tropical storm for sure. I'm Ann Carrick, Fox News. Flooding rain is a major concern.
Los Angeles never had a tropical storm warning before, and they have it right now. We're going to get really strong winds, not hurricane force winds, but really strong winds, maybe 60, 70 miles an hour, and a lot of rain. We've got moisture up towards parts of Idaho where we have a flood threat. We haven't talked much about the northern end of this, Montana and Idaho that are going to get a lot of wind and a lot of rain from this. Already very heavy rain across Nevada, in towards Southern California, parts of Arizona, and that's where we're going to see the worst of the flooding. Some spots probably up to 10 inches of rain, and all that water has to go somewhere, and it's really dry soil, so it doesn't absorb at all. It's all just going to run off.
Fox meteorologist Rick Reichmuth. Nissan owners, listen up. Auto manufacturers have issued a major recall.
Nissan recalling more than 236,000 Sentra compact cars from the 2020 through 2022 model years because the tie rods in the front suspension can bend and break. According to documents posted by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, if tie rods become bent, they can break and affect the steering, increasing the risk of a crash. Many of the same Sentra models were recalled in 2021 to fix the same problem. Nissan owners should contact dealers if their steering wheel is off center or they feel a vibration to have their vehicle inspected and any bent or broken tie rods replaced. Matt Napolitano, Fox News.
Police arrested an 18-year-old man for the murder of an 11-year-old girl in Pasadena, Texas. The suspect was arrested in Louisiana. He's accused of sexually assaulting and killing Maria Gonzalez before hiding her body under her bed. Gonzalez texted her father last Saturday morning saying someone was knocking at the door. That was just before she was murdered. America is listening to Fox News.
New from the Fox News Podcast Network.
I'm Emily Campagno, and this is the Fox True Crime Podcast.
And I had nothing to do with her disappearance.
I sit down with the people who lived the nightmares.
I was in shock. I was just devastated.
The investigators who tirelessly worked on the case.
And I really hope that they can catch this guy.
Bringing you closer to the story than you ever thought possible.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
These are the stories that keep you up at night.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network. Listen to the all-new Brett Baier podcast featuring Common Ground, talking to lawmakers weekly from opposite sides of the political spectrum about the issues of the day and how Americans can find common ground in a politicized world.
That's just not happening on Capitol Hill. It takes leadership, right?
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Along with all your Brett Baier favorites like the campaign, the candidates, the all-star panel, and much more. Available now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
All right, gang, let's do it again.
One more time.
Yeah, hour number 2 of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. It is the talk of Las Vegas.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Bobby Day. She's tuning in out there in Vegas.
Awesome. Thanks, Bobby. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And, of course, I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for joining us on the show. The David difference.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, what a difference a David makes.
A Dave makes.
I'm sorry. You
like,
shortened
don't
it to
even.
Dave on that.
Well, you're not even supposed to say it. So, like, just keep that out of your mouth.
Wow.
Now I'm upset.
Oh, come on.
Nah, I'm just playing, Mark.
Don't
we
be
good, man.
don't
It's
be-
just me and you now. So, like, we can't just battle each other all the time. And I have an idea.
Uh-oh.
As we talk about, NWO, who was that third man? We're putting out a contest, man. Third man gonna show up. You got the big Mike and the medium-sized Mike. Wait till you see who's coming on.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
All right.
Probably gonna pull your mailman in next time.
I have many mailmen, actually. There's a lot of people that deliver mail at our complex.
I bet you do.
Well, I have no choice over who my mail person is.
Right.
Come on. Unbelievable.
Well, there you go, man.
David Difference on a roll. It's the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. And also to everybody out there watching on the live streams, we certainly do appreciate that. We do live stream the show on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, X, whatever the heck it is now.
Hit that subscribe on YouTube, man. We're trying to take it somewhere. Like, we're gonna keep. Here's the thing about this show, and obviously, like, we're evolving. We're going from here to there. Mark used to have a trash logo. I came in and I hooked that up, and it's like little by little we are evolving. Now we're live streaming and we're making all kinds of connects and things. So our goal is to bring you the best product possible and create something. So just bear with us, stick with us, support us, and we appreciate that. So if you could subscribe, we appreciate that. If you could share the live streams, we appreciate that. Download the podcast.
There you go.
And that's the difference.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Just you tell them, Dave.
Get out.
You tell them.
Nah, I'm seriously, like, it helps a lot.
It does. It really does.
We do this for the love. I mean, obviously the business, like, it's a passion project, but we want to give you guys the best thing possible.
Yeah. So more money, more fun. That's how it works. We got to open up the budget. The dance video up on the live stream.
I'll dance to that, baby.
Just, man, I'll tell you, I'm taking a beating today. Unreal. Well,
what's new, man?
Yeah, well, we have a ton of stuff going on in pro wrestling, and we want to break down a few of these stories that we've been talking about. And the first one, I guess, we'll hit is this situation with Cash Wheeler. For those that do not know, he is, of course, one half of the AEW World Tag Team Champions, FTR, along with his partner Dax Harwood. And, well, Cash had a little brush with the law. Apparently on July 27th, there was an incident that took place, and Cash Wheeler was just arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a firearm after a warrant was put out. AEW, he went in and, did his thing and paid, I believe it was $2,500 bond, and off he goes. And they will be dealing with this later. Of course, once again, they are allegations. But one key thing, he did not have to surrender his passport. So he is okay to still go to England and participate in All In next week. David, your thoughts on this situation? Because a lot of people are out there screaming that they shouldn't have the match with the Bucks.
Well, tell me, I need some context. Who is saying they shouldn't have a match?
Oh, different media people and fans.
Because he had road rage and attacked somebody?
Yeah, and it wasn't even
allegedly.
Yeah, what they're saying is that he flashed a firearm.
Get out of here.
So,
yeah, I mean, a lot worse has happened in this industry to people in general. I don't even think this is newsworthy, to tell you the truth. I've seen the Usos get, like, their DUI pullover is on YouTube. Like, people do stupid stuff, or in the heat of the moment. I don't think I think that has no merit on anything, not even the show.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, unfortunately, it's just getting a lot of negative attention because All In is next week. But, so we'll see. And Cash doesn't have any priors or anything like that. I mean, but a pretty straight shooter. So, I didn't really try that. I don't know how well he fires the gun he supposedly brandished, but, it is a sad situation that, that AEW is getting negative attention like this right before this. And with more negative attention. Jeez.
It's bad enough it's raining. We got this hurricane. You just bring the bad news, Mark.
Well, I want to get it out of the way because it's this is some big stuff.
All right, let's go.
Our good buddy CM Punk is at the center of a lot of controversy in AEW right now. I mean, a ton.
Okay.
Just over the past week and a half. So first we had a situation with him and Ryan Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler's brother, who, of course, he wrestles in AEW. He had responded, put up a little tweet about CM Punk being soft in a tweet. And apparently the two of them got into a big argument at Collision. And now he's on the bad list. So there was a big argument there. We also had Hangman Adam Page after the promo that CM Punk cut on him. Page had apparently come to Collision to cut a promo. I don't know if you remember the ambulance promo that showed up on Dynamite. They sent him out of the building. Now, there are different reports saying the Punk didn't have anything to do with it. Some people said he did. So who knows where the truth lies. But Punk cutting that promo on Adam Page, basically saying that, his action figures don't sell and all this kind of stuff. And just responding to seeing a sign in the stands and cut an impromptu promo on Page. And of course, those guys have had heat for a while. So there was that. Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel, who is an agent and a producer for AEW, has apparently been told he can't come to Collision because of a problem that those two had a while back. Coming back from all out, apparently CM Punk felt like Christopher Daniels was on the elite side, of course, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. So he doesn't want Christopher Daniels around, partially because Ace Steel can't be there, his buddy and coach.
Okay.
So we had that. And a lot of people are just in the locker room are saying, what the heck is going on here? They are really upset about it, that, this is not under control. And there was a really funny tweet that Jim Cornette put up, and I just wanted to read this real quick. Somebody, an account that I follow called Super 70 Sports, put up a picture of a basketball fight. There's a fight with Julius Erving and Charles Barkley and Larry Bird and all that.
Okay.
And Jim Cornette put a quote tweet over it. And this was obviously a shot at these guys. After they were suspended and not mentioned on TV for 6 months, the NBA decided not to have the teams ever play each other again and created separate Wednesday and Saturday TV shows so they didn't have to be in the same building. Plus, legal told Bird never to try to talk to Barkley again.
Yeah, I like it. Cornette, man.
So obviously making fun of the situation that they're keeping the elite and CM Punk separated because of what happened at All Out. There was also a situation that Punk put out a tweet. There was apparently a mistake on a t-shirt that got made. And if you don't know, Matt Jackson's wife is in charge of merchandise for AEW.
Okay.
So there was a printing error for Death Before Dishonor for those t-shirts. And he basically said, how could that have happened? So Punk taking what seemed to be a little shot there too.
Well, I think Chris Van Vliet hit it on, the inmates running the asylum over there. Seeing Tony Khan, I mean, and this is the thing, like we watch it for the drama. We want the drama. So don't act like it's a bad thing, whatever, like it's stirring. But I feel as though, Tony Khan is not the leadership that they need over there. And it is kind of running amok. So when something like that happens, like you're not towing the line. Vince McMahon's going to shut you down. He's the boss. It seems like, you can kind of do whatever you want over there. Yeah. That's the impression I get.
Yeah. As someone who coached and ran businesses.
You coached a second grade female softball.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, why don't you go do some record checking there, pal?
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. But go ahead. My bad.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's this weather, man. It's getting me on edge.
Yeah. This is like you're Seattle depressed, dude.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know. But anyway, the one thing that I think is really, there's two things that are really hurting this right now is one, you can't have that perception amongst your employees or when you have a team that one person is able to get away with doing whatever they want while the rest of them can't.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just getting out of hand with Punk. And and obviously we're going, some of this we're going on speculation and what some people are saying, and who knows what what the exact source is. But he's at the center of all of this.
Yeah.
And I think that, and I know that he's very important to AEW. I mean, obviously Warner Brothers wanted him to be the focus of Collision. They wanted that Saturday show, and they wanted him to be the guy.
Yep.
So is he in a special place in AEW? Yes. But you still have to have certain restrictions, and you still have to be able to make sure that he's not being perceived as somebody who he's over here and everybody else is over here. You know what I mean? And I really think that Tony has got to have a sit down with him at some point and say,
I'm sure he's tried to.
Well, then here's the next step. What do you do?
Well,
what do you do? If he's not going to listen to you, man, you don't have because you have a whole group of people that you got to watch out for, and you can't just be focusing on one person and letting that one person, spoil everything back there.
Well, and it depends. Like watching Tony Khan operate, and this is no knock. This is just an observation. He seems like a very timid fan of wrestling. Doesn't seem like a take charge leader of this thing, and kind of lets people do what they want. It all stems from leadership. If it's happening, he's allowing it to happen. And he can either shut that down, or what he usually does is just stay quiet and wave. Reminds me of like Pee Wee Herman or something. Like, he's not somebody that's going to toe the line.
Well, and I remember when the whole thing
Shout
happened
out to Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, by the way, yeah, rest in peace, Paul Rubens. There, I remember when All Out happened and CM Punk was saying all those things and Tony just kind of sat there and let him do it, which ended up leading to the fight that took place.
Yeah.
And you and I we were at the scrum, and I got trashed.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to pull myself into it, but if you watch the video of that, and MJF said what he said to me.
What did he say?
Type 3 diabetes comment.
Okay,
but yeah, okay, whatever. But you could see that the look on his face, like, is he really saying this to this guy?
But I don't know if that's the character he's playing. I don't know.
Well, no, it's not
because
a character.
It seems
it's
so.
Just, it's like you said. I think that he doesn't want to rock the boat with these guys because and all honesty, AEW actually reached out to me afterward and said, "Hey, sorry, what got said to you," and I was like, I was fine. It was cool. I got 1 million views out of that. I'm happy.
Should have got some tickets. But still, I don't know if that's and that's just how he is. Then it's not going to happen. They need to bring in somebody to handle that. I don't know whose job it is to handle that, but it ain't him.
And I think that's the responsibility of a good leader. When I coached, when there were areas that maybe I wasn't as good as, I could maybe get somebody else. I gave somebody else that responsibility. Or I give one of my, my managers were places that I ran. I would give them some responsibilities. I felt like, you're going to be better at this than I am. So go for it. Like when you and I work together, this stuff that you're way better at than I am. I'm not going to tell you how to
everything.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm not going to tell you, how to make videos and stuff.
Right.
But, I want you to handle it because you're good at it.
Yeah.
And I think that Tony needs to recognize that a little bit and just say, I need to bring in a hammer. I need, because I'm the nail right now, man. I need a hammer. So
I'm sure he's got somebody there, though. It's not just him roaming around backstage like, oh, what's going on, like a bobblehead. He's got to have people back there. So either this is all just a work just to keep everything in motion because it's stirring up, controversy and having people talking. But if you see how wide-eyed and timid he looks, I think it might be a gimmick. He might be the biggest macho man on the planet behind the scenes.
Maybe, you never know.
We don't. I don't know. I'm hoping it's a gimmick.
I mean, look, the Khan family, obviously incredibly successful business people. They 100%. Wouldn't be where they are,
correct,
if they didn't know what they were doing. So
that doesn't make a leader, though.
That is very true.
It does not. And what we've seen is like chaos there, at least what they're reporting or what they're painting the picture of is chaos, and that all comes down to leadership.
Yeah. So we'll see how that all turns out, but some crazy stuff happening at AEW. But look, there's some great things happening at AEW too that we're going to talk about here in a little bit, specifically All In. Broke the ticket record sales for any professional wrestling event of all time. And we're going to take a look at that card, David.
Oh, are we?
We are. We're going to take a look at that card, run through it, give everybody an idea what they can expect coming up next Sunday from Wembley Stadium. Because I got to tell you, man, it is going to be an awesome night, to say the least. So we've got all that and a whole lot more coming up on the Mark Hoke Show. Stick around. We will be right back.
Hoke.
And we're back on the Mark Hoke Show on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Best in pro wrestling news and entertainment most of the time.
All the time.
I'm Mark Hoke. The David difference.
Shout out to the mastermind, man. He's going to be on Future Shock FSW coming up next week, man. Shout out. He's a good guy. He's climbing the ranks, man. Manager.
Nice.
Yep, that's my guy. We'll get him on the show, man. Young cat.
Yeah.
He looks disheveled, man. I don't know. Like, wow. Is that the beard and the hair we're going
You
with?
were just, what is with you today?
I just said that's my guy.
And then you, this is what you do. You lift people up. It's like, this is like a wrestling thing.
Okay.
You go in the ring and the guy's gotten beat down and you put a hand out, you pull him up, and then you give him a clothesline from hell and knock him back down. Like, I'm the
That's
David
what I
difference.
do?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should change my name coming on this because it may be give me a bad rap, man. I'm all about positivity, but you bring something out of me, man. Something evil. Nah, just playing. Shout out to the mastermind. That's all I wanted to say. That might be his gimmick.
Yeah,
I
so-
like it.
Yeah. So why didn't you just say that?
That's what I said.
Then you said he was disheveled.
Yeah, like a mastermind, like he overthinking. Like what's the guy who went crazy thinking too much?
Maybe people don't want to be called disheveled. Just throwing it out there, David Difference.
A lot of people don't want to be called a lot of things, and I just had this long ass conversation yesterday about this.
Fair enough.
We can't call everybody what they want to be called.
That is a legit point. All right. Well, let's talk about what's going on at All In. There's obviously a massive card coming up here on Sunday. We'll run down through the card and real quick and just give some thoughts about what we're going to see here. Of course, the opening match, which is going to be on free TV, Aussie Open defends the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships against MJF and Adam Cole. I know you're not excited about this at all. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
No, I'm to say I'm not excited. That would be incorrect. I think it'll be a good match. I think that it'll be a great event. I'm not against these two and what they're doing. Well, I am, but what they're currently doing, the current thing. But I think that it will tell an interesting story because you have that tag team match. What's going to happen there? Then they got the main event coming on later. So yeah, there's excitement around that.
Yeah, I'm going to be really curious to see what happens in this match that will be setting up the World Championship match happening later in the night. FTR takes on the Young Bucks in their third match of their trilogy for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. All the controversy aside, this is going to be an amazing match. No question about it.
Yeah, no, I think they're going to pull out all the stops on this. Two amazing teams, and on that stage, like that's what's so exciting about it, is like they talked about a lot of the talent. We're thinking, oh, this was too overhyped. How are we gonna? They're gonna step it up and perform. Even if they drop some balls, I guarantee you, everybody's going to give 100% that night.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are going to really get to show what they do, and of course, we'll see who ends up on top of that one. But I think the one thing that everybody's saying is these are the two best tag teams of all time. I don't know if I'd go there, but I will say FTR is pretty darn good. I mean, they're right up there for me. And the Young Bucks are innovators, but the two best tag teams of all time, it's pushing it a little bit.
I mean, they are great teams, but I mean that whole who's the best, that's a tough competition.
That is. We have the AEW Women's World Championship. Hikaru Shida, Toni Storm, Saraya, Dr. Britt Baker. We saw this one coming as they were doing these elimination matches. Shida will be defending the championship in this match. We had Saraya in here back at Double or Nothing, and how excited she was to go back home and do this event at Wembley Stadium. I think it's going to be time for Saraya to claim this championship finally and get her props in front of the hometown crowd. What do you think?
I think it's time. I think it's well deserved. And it seems like a long time ago we was talking about this coming up and had no clue what was going on. But I know she's excited about it. I know the fans will be excited about it. I would love to see that moment happen. Like the energy in that moment, the emotion that would be in that moment. Some magical stuff, man. That's what this business is about.
Yeah, and especially, of course, with her being out for so long because of the injury, and to be able to not only recover from that enough to be able to wrestle, but to be able to wrestle in front of 80,000+ people in basically her home and win a championship, it would be pretty awesome. We got a tag team coffin match, and this one got some extra hype, by the way. Darby Allin and Sting against the Mogul Assembly, AR Fox and Swerve Strickland. And, love the work that Swerve and these guys have been doing. Of course, they went out and beat up Nick Wayne, which was kind of fun. But then Sting and Darby Allin invaded an independent show in Atlanta, and it's where AR Fox does his training, and went down there and beat him up in front of about the 150 people, in one of those typical small indie shows. So some pretty cool stuff there. But, man, Sting at 62 years old is going to be wrestling on this card. That's incredible.
That's incredible. I mean, I don't know. He's been there. I don't know. I don't even know what to say anymore. Am I excited about that? No.
No?
Not at all.
All right. Well, that's a fair thing.
Zero excitement.
We've got a 6-man tag match, which got some extra hype here with what's been going on with Don Callis as the Golden Elite. It's Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Adam Page were taking on Kensuke Takeshita, and Bullet Club Gold, Juice Robinson, Jay White. And he's going to have Don Callis, Austin Gunn, and Colton Gunn in the corner, too. Man, this is going to be a pretty exciting match to see, some of the best wrestlers in the world going at it. And, Juice and Jay White have been doing some great work. So this should be a pretty wild affair, to say the least.
Yeah, it'll be a barn burner. Can I say barn burner?
Yeah.
I think the show is going to be amazing, but I think the crowd is going to go ridiculous, and it's going to make the whole night even that much more, man.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think this match, and they got a stacked card.
Yeah.
People always talk about the AEW cards ain't what they should be. This is one. Do you think it's, after reviewing it, do you think it's the magnitude of what you thought this show would be?
I do overall. I mean, one thing about AEW, and a lot of people have actually been criticizing this card, like there's no super match on here.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what AEW is all about. The AEW is about having a very balanced roster with a ton of terrific people on it. And it is a shame, like Bryan Danielson's out, for example. That's sad that he's not going to be able to be performing on this. But it's just you look at these matches from top to bottom, and there's just really incredibly talented performers in every match.
Mm-hmm.
Every match. And I think they're all, I'm not seeing a weak spot on this card. I'm really not. So I think it's going to be pretty fun. Stadium Stampede match. These are always a kind of a hootenanny.
Is that like the who's in this one?
The Stadium Stampede match right now is Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, Best Friends, and the Lucha Brothers taking on the Blackpool Combat Club, and 3 more competitors have not been named yet. I'm hearing Santana and Ortiz will probably be involved in this. They've recovered.
Is this like Anarchy in the Arena?
Something like that. But the Stadium Stampede matches where they've been, driving the carts around and fighting in the football stadiums and everything else. So yeah, this is going to be all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Should be it's going to be insanity, and especially in a British crowd, as crazy as they get. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do you know about British people?
Well, you've seen the crowds overseas, especially in England. They get nuts. They're loud. They're boisterous. They sing. They do all sorts of stuff that American crowds don't do.
Yeah, I'm excited just to see how they turn out, show out.
Yeah. So they'll be right around everybody get to do it in that one. Will Ospreay and Chris Jericho, of course, we saw Chris Jericho get beat up by Will Ospreay, and Don Callis turned on him and all that with the painting this week.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good piece of artwork, by the way.
It was dope. I didn't know if I swore like somebody made it and sent it to him on Twitter or something.
I have to look that up.
That's what I thought. I don't know. I seen somebody post it was like this artwork, and then I'd seen it pop up on the show. So that's cool.
Yeah. So Will Ospreay gets to return home as well and gets to take on the legend Chris Jericho. That should be something else too. I know a lot of people are a little disappointed. They would have rather seen maybe Kenny Omega in another match with Will Ospreay on this, just because they're busting on Jericho. But I think this is going to be a lot of fun too.
Yeah. You got all kinds of elements with the athleticism, and then the character driven with Jericho, and like Jericho, you just don't get better than that. So he's going to bring out, especially in that, like he's a veteran, man. He come on.
I hope he brings out the Painmaker.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be fun. We get Samoa Joe and CM Punk as they will conclude their what seems like a lifelong trilogy. CM Punk will be defending his Real World Championship, which I think is bogus, but that's just me. Yeah. But CM Punk, Samoa Joe should be an awesome match as well as those guys try to settle this thing.
Yeah, what was the whole... So I watched the match where he came out as what was the character?
The Golden Vampire.
The Golden Vampire was that a one-on-one match? I just seen a clip where he, gave the running knee and then go to sleep. But was it a match before that?
Yeah.
So, and nobody knew anything that this is CM Punk, or did you know?
No, I think that, I need to do more research on that. But I think that was something that he pulled off a while back in Ring of Honor. So if I'm correct, but I'll look that up.
Do some research, Mark.
Yeah,
but I'm saying in that match, was he just whooping Samoa Joe the whole match?
I didn't get to see Collision last night, so
okay. I'll do some homework.
Okay, there you go.
I mean, what's the point now?
No.
The test is now.
Gotta know.
And we're failing.
Well, it's all good. And then, of course, the match for the AEW World Championship match, MJF and Adam Cole. Chris Van Vliet thinks MJF is walking out of here with the title. I'm not so sure, man. I'm not so sure. I think it'd be a great moment for MJF.
Mm-hmm.
But man,
yeah, he seemed 100% certain about that.
He did too. I don't know. I would not be surprised if something crazy happens with Adam Cole, that he does something really mean and nasty.
I think it could. And then you got that chase. I mean, obviously, if they turn, then there's going to be a feud. So, I mean, you got to chase back for that gold.
Right.
That would be the better story, I think.
You put the baby face in the chase for the championship after he gets crushed, his heart destroyed, his faith in humanity gone.
Sounds like you after your last date.
Something like that. Yeah, but overall, I think this is going to be a great night for AEW, and a great and really, when you look at it, it's a great night for professional wrestling too. If you think about where pro wrestling was, even just 5 years ago, where it was, the shows at WWE was kind of putting on okay TV shows, and you had some pretty good pay-per-views sometimes, but some of them were real stinkers. And now, since AEW has come into existence, everybody has just completely stepped their game up. And to see a crowd like this for a non-WWE event really, to me, just shows the strength of pro wrestling and how much people are really into it, and what AEW's influence has had on the industry.
Yeah. No, I think it's a beautiful thing. It's like you said, for the industry. But I just think, wrestling fans as a whole, like to be a part of this, it's an amazing thing. Wrestling is an emotional thing. You can't talk to any wrestling fan and they don't have some kind of emotional attachment to wrestling, why they got into it, why they love it. So it's just a beautiful business. And I talk to people all the time that have no clue about wrestling or the culture, and they just don't get it. But I implore you to hop in and see what it's about. There's a lot. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've always called it an athletic soap opera.
Yeah.
I think that's a very fair statement, because it's not just people getting in a ring and doing moves and stuff like that. You're telling stories.
Mm-hmm.
And pro wrestling, especially lately, you look at the Bloodline story that's just captivated everybody and is pulling new fans in, has got everybody excited about pro wrestling, and a lot of the stuff that's been happening in AEW as well. The whole industry as a whole has just become so much more exciting. And I think that it, in a lot of ways, especially with what WWE does, they have more of an ability to pull in a casual fan over there, just because with some of the stuff that AEW does, it's a little more old school NWA type wrestling.
Yeah.
But there's just so many great things that are happening, and not just with the two big companies, but Impact has been doing so well lately too. Their shows are awesome. You look at other companies like the NWA is even stepping up right now.
Mm-hmm.
You have indie companies all over the country, places like Future Stars of Wrestling that are just putting on unreal shows every time they go out. You just never know what's going to happen. And one thing that's really cool has happened too is that the big companies now are starting to tie in a lot more with the indies. So you never know what's going to happen. Like you had Sting and Darby Allin show up at a little baby independent show in Atlanta. That would have never happened 5 years ago.
Right.
No way.
Right.
So, I mean, I think it's an unreal time for you. If you haven't checked out pro wrestling for a while, or you're one of those people, like, you and I see it all the time when we talk to people about, oh yeah, I used to watch the Attitude Era. I used to watch the Hulk Hogan era, but I haven't watched it since.
Right.
Well, now's the time to come back.
Yeah, come on out, especially if you're here in Las Vegas. Like, hit me up, man. I'll get you in. Let's go. Yeah, like, I love seeing people watch a show for the first time. When people come to FSW, it's like, nah, I've never been to a show, and they come out like, oh yeah, I loved it. I'll be back. like that is an amazing thing because they get captivated not only just by the entertainment that's going on, but the community, the energy, the culture that's in the building over there, especially with the FSW fam. You know, we represent all day, every day.
Yeah, it's just a great group of people. And, you know, you see all these performers that are now even have more to work for. And you can tell that they're just putting in the time, and, you know, they know there's more opportunities out for their form now than just getting to WWE. You know, the opportunities are all over the place, and, you know, they can get seen wherever too. You know, they're on, everybody's broadcast on Fight TV and other outlets like that. And the sky's the limit. So there you go. There's a little soliloquy on why you should be a pro wrestling fan.
The beautiful business.
It is something else. Hey, let's take a break. And when we come back, we got a few more stories, including an icon of the Attitude Era. Not good. Not good.
Or is it?
We'll find out. Coming up here on the Mark Hoke Show on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. Of course, that Odyssey app. If you haven't downloaded that, do it right now. They got a rewind feature. You can go back, or you can check us out on the live stream. We'll be right back.
Infinite Wellness can help you achieve your goals and look and feel your best. Our regenerative medicine clinic utilizes stem cell and exome therapy. We also have a comprehensive weight loss program and numerous other services you can find on our website at infinitewellness.info. We're located at 8925 West Coast Road, Suite 100, right across from IKEA. You can book your appointment today by calling us at 702-842-2244 or find us on social media at infinitewellness.lv. We'd love to be a part of your journey.
The Las Vegas Valley is currently under a flash flood alert. Clark County Regional Flood Control reminds you to never enter a flooded street or intersection, even if it's just a few inches deep. Water always wins. Visit BeFloodSafe.com for flood information in your area.
I know you're frustrated with the hassle and headache of your water softener. Well, ditch your outdated softener for good and trade up to a LifeSource whole home water system. And now is a great time to upgrade. For a limited time, LifeSource is offering a Ditch the Softener rebate valued up to $1,000 to upgrade to a LifeSource water system. Call 888-725-1181. That's 888-725-1181. Or visit LifeSourceWater.com. Don't miss this opportunity. Call on the source, LifeSource.
Are you, or do you know a 16 to 18-year-old who is falling behind in school? Do you find yourself struggling to keep up? Or perhaps often getting in trouble? That's okay, because you're not alone, and help is available. Battleborn Youth Challenge Academy is a voluntary, tuition-free program open to Nevada students like you. BBYCA uses a military structure to assist in reclaiming lost credits, instill discipline, develop self-reliance, and foster a sense of community. If you are ready to accept the challenge, apply now for the new semester class. Check out the website at battlebornyouthchallenge.org. That's battlebornyouthchallenge.org. Or simply search for Battleborn Youth Challenge Academy. This message sponsored by Battleborn Youth Challenge Academy, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
There is no known safe amount of marijuana use during pregnancy. Marijuana is not safe for pregnant or breastfeeding women and their babies. Everything a mother eats, drinks, or smokes affects her developing baby or enters her breast milk. Just like alcohol and tobacco, using marijuana can have negative effects for your baby. Any form of marijuana may be harmful during pregnancy and while breastfeeding. Marijuana can affect your ability to care for your baby or someone else's baby. It is best for women to quit using while pregnant and breastfeeding. If you are pregnant or a new mother using marijuana, you are urged to seek help to quit. Pregnant women receive priority admission at state-funded treatment centers. Visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org. That's SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211. This message sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
My son stopped talking to me. He didn't want to leave his room.
I didn't feel like talking to anyone. I just wanted to be alone.
I was really worried about my daughter. She was angry all the time.
I felt so depressed.
I was really worried about my daughter.
I couldn't do anything right. I was always getting yelled at.
My son told me he wanted to hurt himself. I was so scared.
I was feeling hopeless. It was all too much.
We needed help.
We needed help.
We needed help.
We needed help.
I needed help.
I called the mobile crisis response team, and we met with them that same day.
A crisis team came to my house and helped me talk to my parents about how I was feeling.
I called the mobile crisis response team. They met with us that day.
I talked to them about how I was feeling, and it really helped.
Sometimes understanding what children are experiencing can be difficult. The Nevada Children's Mobile Crisis Response Team provides mental health intervention and support. Learn more at nocrisis.com. This message sponsored by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone. Ask about your company's emotional health benefits. Visit heart.org/sharing. Brought to you by the American Heart Association.
If you're looking for an award-winning dining experience at outstanding prices, look no further than Unique Eats. Whether it's their incredible breakfast platters, amazing pastas and sandwiches, or world-renowned pizzas, celebrity chef Dominic Tedesco will have you covered. Check out their coffee and smoothie bar, vegetarian options, catering, and top-flight service. Visit Unique Eats today at 3100 South Durango, Suite 100. Call 702-992-3038 or go to uniqueeatslv.com, and we'll see you all at Unique Eats.
1015 FM KDAWN. You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Welcome back to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM. The Talk of Las Vegas, also streaming on the Odyssey app.
Yes,
so
sir.
Take us wherever you are. And, if you're listening to the show or, just happen to be on the Odyssey app, but maybe a few hours later and say, hey, you know what? I missed the show.
Who talks like that?
Just rewind it.
Yeah.
Well, hey, what? You don't think it's somebody sitting around and says, hey, I missed the show?
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah,
My bad.
They do.
I misspoke. I was communicating with Big Fonz, man. He'll be on September 10th, Sunday.
Okay.
For FSW, Big Fonz, man. He's doing some things.
Yeah, won that big battle royal at the FSW anniversary show.
Yeah, he's tearing it up. He's making moves. He's all over the West Coast, man.
Yeah, so we'll look forward to having Big Fonz on the show.
Hey.
He doesn't do that.
We don't know. We'll find out.
I guess we will. Yeah. By the way, I do want to remind everybody, if you are having trouble talking or, having confidence and not feeling great about yourself, or you're, having some injury issues or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Our good friend Jenny Santana, who we had on the show last week.
She's gorgeous.
She is a beautiful woman. Ain't no doubt.
She brought a lot of good energy.
She
to the
did.
Show.
But it's not about that.
Oh, it's not.
If you go to Infinite Wellness LV here in Las Vegas, of course, they do occupational therapy, massage therapy, hair restoration, Botox, aesthetics, ED.
What's
if
that?
Dave has that. Yeah, okay.
What is that?
Not what I heard. Cryotherapy, stem cell therapy, all sorts of neat stuff out there. So, if you need some help, you got some nagging injuries, you just want to look a little better, get on over there. It's 8925 West Post Road, Suite 100 in Las Vegas, zips 89148. You can go to infinitewellness.info or give them a call and set up an appointment at 702-842-2244, 702-842-2244. Once again, 702-842-2244, infinitewellness.info, and check out Infinite Wellness LV. Tell them Mark Hoke Show sent you. Jenny will maybe poke something into your skin for free. You never know.
That is the worst plug. She may poke something into your skin for free. You never know.
I'm just messing around.
Oh, that's not an official tag from them?
No, that's not an official
tag.
Tag.
They didn't. Okay, they didn't send over that script.
Do great work over there, so please check it out. We'd appreciate it. Two ladies in the news, David Difference flashing. God, what is your problem? Just disrupting the show with the live stream. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What is up with you?
What's up with me?
What is,
I'm trying to
you
keep
act
this
like
thing
you've
moving.
never seen rain before, man.
I haven't. What is it?
It depresses you.
Do I look depressed?
You seem sad.
I am sad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry. You know what?
What?
I am a little sad.
Why are you sad?
Well,
tell the listeners out there. I give you 30 seconds to do. I'm gonna hit the timer over here. There's a timer. David, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Action. All right.
Go.
So there's this girl.
Yeah.
And I met her. We really clicked and bonded, and I thought it was just on a deep spiritual level, and it kind of just really dissipated quickly. And I thought she was the one.
Really?
Nope. Nah, it's fun. I'm good, man. Life is beautiful. Look at me, man. Look at me, man.
I don't want to. You
Yeah,
need some work over at Infinite Wellness LV.
Relax.
Come on. After you've been bashing me with like a Captain Caveman over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you deserve one shot. There
Look
it
at
is.
your screensaver, man.
It's
insane.
just pathetic.
It's insane.
He's putting up just so you know, it is a picture put on my laptop of Chris Van Vliet's ab pictures. Who we had on the show. I want to thank Chris for coming on. But hey, we had as we were saying before we got into psychotherapy, two ladies in the news.
Mm-hmm.
Should we start with a good one or the bad one?
Let's go with the good one. Who's that?
Well, I guess it's good news for Lacey Evans.
Okay.
Let's
end it on a bad note.
I think because of course she is now out of WWE. I don't know if you saw this or not, but her contract expired this week.
Mm-hmm.
And so she is gone from World Wrestling Entertainment. And, it was what a weird run she had. Of course, she's been a former Marine for 5 years and then went into wrestling in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Has been in WWE for, I believe, since 2000. It was on the main roster since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
But went through all those gimmick changes. Of course, she was the sassy Southern Belle.
Yeah.
Which she had a lot of success with that. And then that kind of faded away. And then they repackaged her like 3 times, including that disastrous package where they showed her Marine career and talking about abuse that she went through as a child and the whole thing, trying to build up all this sympathy for her. And then they had her go out and cut promos like she was a total wench.
Mm. Yeah.
And killed her again. Then they tried doing the Marine thing.
Yeah.
And didn't involve Sergeant Slaughter, and that ended up actually being a Twitter beef.
Oh, yeah, with her and Sergeant?
Yeah. So the whole thing just was a big disaster at the end for Lacey Evans. And of course, don't forget that Ric Flair thing where she was supposedly having Ric Flair's baby.
Oh, yeah.
When she actually in real life did get pregnant and stepped away.
What'd she do? She had his baby?
Not Ric Flair's.
She didn't deliver it?
No, she had her husband's baby, but thank you very much. But Dave, what are your thoughts on the run of Lacey Evans?
Like you said, there was a lot of misses that happened with it. I think that there was excitement when she first came out, like she was about to be a big deal. And then, that creative just ups and downs with that, and I think it's a good thing now that, and she seems to be excited to be able to go to other places and, let her magic shine, because I think, sometimes they just get bad creative on people and that carries with them through their career at WWE. So the opportunity to go somewhere else and rebrand, I think is a beautiful thing.
I think she'd be terrific in AEW and they could definitely use her. I mean, absolutely, I mean, she's not the perfect wrestler or anything like that, but she's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously a stunning woman. I mean, no question about that. And apparently she's going to have an OnlyFans account.
Settle down.
Well, I'm just
saying. That's where we're going.
Well, she mentioned it. I didn't.
Well,
but
you just mentioned it.
But she's going by her real name, Macy Estrella.
Mm.
So if you want to look her up,
on OnlyFans,
feel free to do so. But I would love to see her in AEW. I really would. I think that would be a great move for her and would strengthen that division for sure. We also had news about Sunny Days. Not so much. Of course, Sunny, the former WWE manager, valet, whatever you want to call her, Tammy Sitch, is facing up to 25 years in prison after she pleaded no contest to DUI charges. Of course, she had a DUI that actually caused a death. So she has been sentenced and, sentencing hearing is being scheduled, but she faces up to 25 years. So we'll see what happens with her. But boy, how the mighty fell on that one, brother. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's a sad, tragic story. And you just hate to see that happen. And obviously, when you talk about mental health and whatnot, like it's a doozy, especially when you involve drugs and everything of that nature. Like it's a sad story. Yeah, I mean, they're talking about 25 years. What did the guy, the Raider out here? He got what, 3 to 7 years for killing somebody?
Yeah.
It's insane. So I don't know what they base it off of, but I mean, I know one thing, regardless, she just needs to clean up her act, and maybe it's too late. Like some people will never figure out.
Yeah, it's a shame. I heard all sorts of interesting stories about how she just was in with the wrong people and, was starting to clean up and then started dating another wrestler, and everybody said this is going to be trouble. And as it turned out, it was. So, well, hopefully she'll find a way to get herself situated while she's in prison. And, when she gets out, she'll be okay.
I think there's always, room for redemption on that. But I mean, it's just sad that somebody lost their life because of that stupidity.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, yeah. So there's your story on Sunny. But Dave, I tell you, we've got a lot of great stuff coming up here on the show as we wrap it up here.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to be at the Cauliflower Alley Club next week.
That's going to be fun, man.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
So many big names are there. Like I just got a list, man. They email me some of the surprise guests that's there. And next week, I actually got that interview. It's going to blow your mind, man.
Wow. Stuff I didn't know about. I'm glad you told me.
Well, I did tell you about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, next week, man. I'm telling you.
All right.
You do not want to miss this interview. It is a game changer. Oh, I'm excited just thinking about it.
So get ready for that. And of course, we'll be on the air live when All In kicks off. So we'll be getting to give you live reaction to what's happening with Adam Cole and MJF if they are the new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions or disaster strikes.
Yep.
And so much more coming up. Thanks for being with us, everybody. We certainly do appreciate it. Thanks to Chris Van Vliet for being on the show. Don't forget to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. Just look up Mark Hoke Show. We're everywhere. David Difference. Awesome show. Thank you very much, buddy.
That's the difference. I appreciate you.
All right. We'll see you next week. Have a great day, Las Vegas. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show. Like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show. And visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
If you need to sell your house,